Ready? Okay. So we're gonna go over how to set up the high flow. So when you're starting, remember that green means go. So you're gonna hook up the oxygen first. This has an extension on here so that you can stretch it over to the runs wherever you need to. It has to hook up to this connection. This is the only place it can hook up here. So hook up your oxygen next. Then you're gonna plug in the high flow and the compressor. If you don't plug in the compressor and turn it on, you can't adjust the FiO2. The button for the compressor is down here. Just flip that on. When you're setting up your circuit, you're going to choose first your cannula size for a patient that you want to be less than 50%. You're going to choose your size based off a chart and some other factors. So we're going to use a premature for this one. Then we're going to set up our low flow. It's going to come in this package. Everything is set up in packages that Karen has made, so you've got all the things you need. You want to wear gloves with this. They don't have to be sterile. So you're going to take out your cartridge, which is going to be labeled low flow. It's also labeled on here low flow. So this is 1 to 8 liters per minute. The high flow is going to be 5 to 40 liters per minute. This all comes in one piece. Then your oxygen delivery tube is also going to be in your low flow packaging. You're going to plug in this piece right here into these holes right here. You want to pop it in so it fits tightly, okay? This is then going to fit into your high flow. You can see in here there's a metal piece right here. The metal pieces go together. So you're going to slide it in behind these little bars all the way down, okay? And then shut the casing. The next thing we're going to do is prime the line with sterile water. So 1 liter bag. So hang your bag here. And you're going to spike this. Make sure this is clamped first. So clamp, and then spike your bag. Now you want to prime this line for 90 seconds. So you're going to open this, and you can just watch the clock and count for 90 seconds. We're then going to set the machine here. As you're getting this set up, you want to make sure your cannula is hooked up to the machine before you put it on your patient. Just slide this in like that. So after this finishes priming, we'll go ahead and put this from standby to start. Got another about a minute there. There's 3 things that we can adjust here: our liters per minute, our FiO2, and then our temperature. We're always going to start at 37 degrees Celsius, 100% FiO2, and usually about half a liter per kg per minute for your flow. This button right here is going to be to put you from run to standby or standby to run. And you're going to adjust all these things by pushing and turning. So you push and then spin, and then you can push, push, push to go around. So if you can't adjust your FiO2, might be you forgot to put your compressor on. Okay, so we should be primed now. So we're going to start our patient on 5 liters per minute. So we'll do 100% FiO2, 37 push, and then we'll start on 5 liters per minute push, and then we're going to push run. So it's kind of firing up. We can see water coming through here. Now I can feel oxygen coming through here, so that's how we'll know it's on. So you can kind of hear the hissing sound and you can feel it. Okay, so this is going to notify if it's low flow or high flow cartridge. There's other alarms here that we have some charts for to follow what the problem is. One of the common ones is you'll see this alarm right here. That means obstruction. You want to troubleshoot for obstruction in the line like you would anywhere else. So look from the nose all the way back here, make sure there's nothing obstructing. always have this running and started, so when you put a patient on high flow, you could put the cannulas in their nostrils and it's running. You don't have to start it up while it's on them. If you want to put it in standby, you're just going to push this button right here. Should go standby. There we go. So push and hold it, and then it'll go to standby. If you need to change out the sterile water, you're going to put it in standby, clamp it, and then spike a new bag of water. You only need to replace this when it gets empty. Okay? And then you'd go back to run to get it restarted. Okay? When you are done with the machine, you can leave this circuit on. We can use it for up to 3 months unless it alarms. You have to clamp this to make sure that there's not water running through it because that can damage the machine. Otherwise, all this can stay. The cannulas are one use, so throw those away, but the line and the cartridge can be used. So the important things for you to look at, this is just kind of a quick startup reference right here. This is all with the machine. This is the possible alarms and what they can mean. So you can look at that if you have any of the alarms and you're not sure what's going on. And then the other important thing when you figure out your cannula size is going to be this chart right here. So you always want to look at what your max flow rate is. So for instance, if I have a patient who is 15 kilograms but has a small nose, I'm going to want to use the pediatric small instead of the intermediate infant, because this only goes up to 8 liters per minute, and I want to go up higher than that, so I want to go up to 20. You want to use a cannula that's less than 50% of the diameter so that they can ventilate, otherwise they can get hypercapnic, but just look at your max flow rate.